Men are done with women, and women are done with men. Dating apps have created the biggest divide between men and women in modern history. In this video, I want to talk about how no one's winning in the world of modern dating and how we can take our power back and regain connection. We were told that technology would make connection effortless. Social media was invented to make us more social. But did it really? Instead, the rise of social media and the creation of dating apps have created a huge divide and are responsible for creating two separate realities. On one side, the man, feeling bitter, invisible, feeling rejected by algorithms that only reward status. And on the other side, women, feeling overwhelmed and objectified, who are tired of shallow attention and inconsistent emotional connection. And when men feel unwanted and women feel unsafe and unseen, what happens? The most important aspect of a relationship collapses, that of foundational trust. Now let's get some stats. A 2023 study found 63% of men under the age of 30 are now single, and half say they stopped dating entirely. Meanwhile, women are reporting low trust in men. So in this video, I want to address two key issues that have caused dating to fail. Instead of bringing us closer together, dating apps have increased the gender divide, and how dating apps have actually eroded trust, intimacy, and eventually the family foundation. Because we seem to forget that strong families are the pillars of a strong and healthy society. Dating apps didn't just digitize attraction. They weaponized it, and they've been using it against us. The top 10% of men get all the likes and all the attention on dating apps, and the rest of the men get nothing. And I remember seeing this in dating apps, for example, on Hinge, where they put the most attractive matches behind roses. And you had to buy roses. And users aptly named this the rose jail because you could see this potential match, but you had to pay and buy a rose to get their attention. And even paying for that type of attention didn't guarantee that you would hear back from this person at all. And this is just one example of how dating apps weaponize attraction against us. Now, women have grown frustrated with dating apps because they receive an endless stream of low-effort messages and matches from men. On top of that, fake intimacy to easily extract sex from a woman. And even being ghosted after having been intimate or have been used by a man. And sadly, I have also experienced this in the dating world. So it's not just men who are suffering, it is women as well. And this results in both sides walking away in resentment, both blaming the other sex. But I hope that this video helps you understand that it's also not the fault of the other sex. It's the fault of the system that we've subscribed to. And it's understandable that men feel bitter and unseen and decide to walk away from women. And it's understandable that women walk away from dating because they feel objectified. They feel emotionally drained for all the failed relationships and the emotions and intimacies that they have offered to men that later on disposed of them. And it's no surprise that these types of dynamic have created hostility within men and women towards the other sex. You see it online everywhere. Reddit threads, TikTok videos that go viral where men are against women. The battle of the sexes. You see men versus women everywhere. While it should be men together with women. We should be a team. But the fact of the matter is that this battle did not start on a Reddit fora. It did not start with a TikTok video, and it did not start on YouTube or on a podcast. It started with our phone screen. And we are all guilty of it because we have all added fuel to the fire by being on dating apps, by also displaying toxic behavior, by ghosting people, by sending low effort messages, or just getting the attention and likes from people to make ourselves feel better. We have to admit that we have all fallen into this trap. But if we become conscious, we can make the choice to no longer subscribe to this toxic paradigm and to this toxic way of looking for love. Dating apps have turned attraction into competition, connection into consumption. And where love becomes a marketplace, empathy dies. And let's face it, we have all shopped for the best bargain on the market of love. But let's broaden the perspective even more. In this day and age, there's fewer couples. There are fewer marriages. There is less family formation. And this is not an accident. This is a symptom. It's a symptom of a sick and destructive system that we all adhere to in modern dating. We all seem to have lost the skill of how to date outside of a dating app, to just walk up to a person, make conversation, and make connection. It is difficult for many people to grasp how you would even date outside of a dating app. But how? How do I make connection? How do I talk to a person? And here it seems like we have lost the most inherent capability, what makes us humans, and that is making connection with another human being. Now, next to that, relationships seem to have become transactional. And when attention becomes a currency, trust dies. Hookup culture teaches men and women that another person is disposable. Get your quick egotistical needs met, dump them, move on until you find the urge for another human body and you will find another victim. Apps have been gamifying desire, so the value of loyalty dies. Let's brag about how many matches I've had this week, none of which actually led to a date. But, it made me feel pretty good that I had 10 matches, people liking me. And just to get my little egotistical needs met, to get my hit of dopamine, I can move on. I can feel good about myself. But truthfully, am I looking for connection? Not really. Sadly, this is the reality of why quite a few people date, and this comes from insecurity. These people are insecure, they don't like themselves, and they need a hit via a dating app to feel good about themselves. And if this is you, please find therapy. Please work on this. Work on liking yourself. Work on not needing the validation from another human being to feel good about yourself. On top of that, for many people in this day and age, the idea of long-term commitment seems boring. You gotta be with the same person for the rest of your life? Wait, I gotta accept their flaws and work through stuff? These type of thoughts come from people who are addicted to the dopamine hit of getting new matches or having a new date every week or every couple of days. Because it gives us a hit of dopamine, because they have so cleverly gamified dating. And the result? Sadly, we live in a society that's built on short-term satisfaction and short-term dopamine hits. Our society values temporary pleasures and not long-term foundational bonds. This is also because we have been trained by social media to have such a short attention span. Our minds can no longer deal with keeping our attention on things for long periods of time, whether this be books or relationships. Everything needs to be short and quick to get that new novel hit of dopamine. And we have applied this to dating and relationships as well. And this is why we see such a fast turnover in dating and short relationships that burn out after about 3 months, maybe 3 dates, because a person suddenly loses the newness. But the sad thing is that these people will always be love-starved. They know that they want a committed long-term relationship and they keep chasing that. But as long as the high of the new relationship wears off, they move on. And we as a society need to understand that when love collapses, everything else will follow. Family structures will collapse. Mental health and even the purpose of life will collapse. We are not just losing connection. We are losing the reason to connect. But don't fear, as in every video, I have some tips and takeaways that you can apply in your life to get out of this toxic system and really focus on learning how to reconnect with yourself and with other people in a healthy manner. Sadly, we can't delete our way out of this. We cannot unswipe it or unmatch our way out of the situation. We have to become conscious of the problem and choose a different path. We have the choice to take back the power and not subscribe to apps that gamify love and gamify connection. We get to choose for real connection via community with real human beings. So return to community. Meet people through shared hobbies, shared experiences, shared ideas, and not through online programmed algorithms. Go out there and find your community. Find the group of people that you want to connect to. And through that, you will make new friends. And eventually, you will meet people of the other sex that you have something in common with. The thing that you share, the sport that you share, the hobby that you share, the passion that you share. And this is such a strong foundation to build real connection on. And if you do decide to use a dating app, learn patience. It takes time for a connection to build. It takes time to get to know someone and give someone that time. If you have a match and you started dating, don't grow bored of them after a second date or a third date. Don't think that a spark should be there immediately. It takes time to develop. So please put in the time and effort to get to know this person. And the most important thing is choose love over convenience. Don't chase dopamine. Chase depth. Give it time to develop. People can grow on you. Love at first sight hardly ever exists. You will fall in love with the things that make a person quirky or how they have behaved in a certain environment or certain setting that you've seen them in during dates. And don't seek validation, seek partnership. Focus on real, truthful connection. Find where you connect with the partner. What values do you share? What ways of living do you share? What ways of thinking do you share? Build that strong foundation of partnership, which comes from trust, which comes from respect, which comes from always being there for that person and wanting the best for that person and loving them for who they are. I hope that this video helped you see that dating apps haven't just failed men or women, and that it is not the men that we should hate or women that we should hate, but that we're both struggling and suffering from a system that doesn't work for either of the sexes. It is a system that was built to create connection, but instead it created divide. And we can now see that. So become conscious and see that it has generated a divide unintentionally, but be conscious enough not to hate the other sex for this reason, because it was the algorithm and the technology and the system that has driven us apart, not the other sex. So head out there in the world, go meet your community, meet people in real life, and you will find that this is how you find true connection. This is how you make friendships, and this is how you will find love. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. Please like the video and leave me a comment. Also send the video to a person that you think who needs to hear it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because it really helps to get this message out there so that we can find each other again in reconnection. Now, this video is part of a 3-part series. Part number 1 is about how dating apps have failed men. Part number 2 is how dating apps has failed women. And part number 3 is this video, how dating apps has failed us all. Now, if you want to continue watching this series, I would suggest that you check out the first episode of this series, Why Dating Apps Have Failed Men, right here, and then you can continue watching the whole series. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.